First up, let's dip into the side deck. If those of you who haven't heard, this November, instead of getting a legendary collection, we're getting something called the Yugi box, or I forget the name off the top of my head right now. And it is basically this box that has like 3 completed decks in it. That's insane, and it's only going to retail for about 30 bucks. That's nuts. I mean, granted, there doesn't seem to be anything in there too valuable, or even anything that will be worth much once it comes out, but that's an interesting way to release something. And I think it's interesting it is all Yugi-centric. But it is sort of sad to see Legendary Collection go. I always thought that was a fun thing to do, but it was time. It really wasn't going anywhere. And on top of that, I do enjoy them trying new kinds of products, releasing major deck releases, sort of like what Magic does, so that's cool. And thing 2. Also, if anyone's wondering about the new cards that were confirmed, this new zombie archetype coming out in the next set. Awesome. Zombies need to get updated in this game. They haven't done anything with that deck in years. But anyways, next week, or maybe the week after, depends on what I choose to do, I am going to review Sailor Moon Crystal. I already know I've hinted to that, but I don't know how to tackle this review. I don't know if I should do a normal review or just do like a versus where I compare it to the original Sailor Moon, which granted I don't remember that much, but do something like that. Or if I should try doing a collaboration with a YouTuber who is more experienced and has more invested in Sailor Moon, because I obviously do not, being a man. So if anyone out there has any ideas for what I should do for my Sailor Moon review, leave it in the comments below, or if you know of any preferably female YouTubers out there who have talked about Sailor Moon and would probably be willing to do something with me, just leave it in the comments below, and I appreciate the comments. Anyways, on to this episode. Okay, this was an interesting one. First up, the biggest positive I can say is the scene where the announcer lady tried to get everyone to cheer and say that we are a united city, and everyone just goes away. That had me bawling. I was laughing my ass off because you don't think it's going to happen. And it makes perfect 100% sense. Like it or not, the city is now being divided thanks to this tournament and thanks to the showing up of our main characters. And you see how that's going to develop over time. And I liked seeing that get a little scene of levity, not just being all serious. I like the fact that the Serena duel didn't take a lot of time. Again, you know Serena can't go away right now, and she doesn't really serve much in the prison, so you might as well have her here. So that was good too, it didn't take up a lot of time. For me, things sort of got off the rails when we got into our other character stuff, and not the Reiji stuff. I'll get to that in a minute, but the Yuya, Sawatori, and Yugioh scenes in this episode, I thought went on forever. I know they're not even that long, and they're cute, but the problem I have with the Yuya scene is I'm done seeing Yuya crying. We are past the point to where crying is acceptable for this character. He needs to man up, and if he's going to have strong emotions, just have him get angry. He saw this man who was a very good friend to him in the form of Enjoy go away, and he's seeing all these people suffer because of dueling and how this city just pompously manipulates people and uses them for their own entertainment and resources. So just show him get angry. It's time to be a hero, and it's time to ball up. So it's time for him to just start getting mad, so that way you can have it all play out the way it should. And I think the way we know it will with a Yuya versus Jack duel, where it's going to get into those emotions. So I thought you could have just had all of Yuya's scenes be chalked up to just him angrily saying, stop taking people away. I don't think you didn't need to keep going back to him and keep having him just sort of talk and repeat the same thing 3 times, only to then end up with him coming to the conclusion you knew he would anyways, that he's got to do his own entertainment dueling, so that way it can be a big moral battle. I didn't really think that served a purpose, but as we all know with Yuya, I go through moments of high and low with him. He's kind of like my period. Then we get Sawatori and the Yugioh scenes, which are basically the same thing. They're just killing time. And I didn't like that. They were cute. I enjoyed the scenes for what they were. However, I thought you could have done more in this episode as opposed to shaping things to come. Namely, everything with the Reiji and Jack Atlas scene. And that scene could have gone on for 20 minutes and I would have been happy. Why? Because these characters are so interesting. I'm not a huge Jack fan. I don't like him in 5Ds that much, especially in the second half. But I like the concept behind the character. That of the man who, because of his desire to better himself and end up in a better place in life, it pushes him further than anyone else will, even though it requires him to give up some of his humanity. I think that is a very good story arc, and it's something you do see, unfortunately, play out in real life. And what I do like is with this new backstory for him, yes, it's also incorporating the fact that Yusei doesn't exist anymore, so therefore you do need to update backstories. But I like that it's been updated to fit the way we're viewing things right now. The way that we are viewing the race to go from poor to rich and how it is changing and the way we view it in society changes. I like updating things and make them feel more logical for how the world would actually see things, and I like that it was conveyed in a more communicatable way, with instead of being a Yusei-centric plot so that way you can keep Jack Yusei's opposite, it is very much just based around one boy's struggle to become something better, and I like the fact that he could see that relation to Reira, who's mostly just focusing around keeping Reiji happy with him. I thought that was interesting to see that connection. I would not have made that. That's why they pay these writers a lot of money. So that was very nice to see, and I like seeing the council understands Reiji is probably just manipulating them, like with sending Tsukikage to the underground. I like the fact that everyone can figure out that the clearly manipulative guy is manipulating everyone. And I like the fact that the council also doesn't care because they are just so obsessed with their power. Having said that, I would have liked to have seen the council actually address what Yugioh was saying to them about how this is wrong and about sending people to the underground. It's like when they did that scene in 5Ds where Rex Goodwin explained to Jack why the satellite is necessary. It does not only the job of giving you a sense of who this character is and why he exists, but it also does the important thing of explaining this world and how it is viewed. I feel like we're getting that from one perspective, but I would like to see it from the other, and just a scene dedicated to that. I think we are going to get that at some point, but I would have liked, and I thought you could have done it here, especially when you just wasted so much time on comedy relief. Again, I liked what they did with Jack and Reiji and all that in this episode, and I liked we didn't waste too much time on a pointless duel. But I think we could have spent more time on that and not just reminding you that these characters exist. Especially if you're just going to put that security guy back. I don't give a crap about him. But what did you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this episode, everything you like that's coming, and again, the Sailor Moon stuff, because I'm at a loss here. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe because I kind of want the Sailor Moon review to happen pretty good.